A Hawaii residential purchase agreement is a legally binding contract between the buyer and seller of a home. It lays out in writing all of the terms of the transaction, including the purchase price, financing, and the rights and obligations of each party. In this video, we'll cover how a residential purchase agreement works, legal requirements in Hawaii, and what you need to create one. We're eForms, the biggest online database for legal documents. Stick around and we'll show you where you can find an official residential purchase agreement specific to Hawaii. First, let's review how does a residential purchase agreement exactly work. When buying or selling a home, the residential purchase agreement is an essential document that makes sure both the buyer and the seller are on the same page regarding all terms and conditions of the transaction. It may take some time to negotiate between the buyer and the seller so that they can reach an agreement on all of the aspects of the contract. Once the agreement is met, both the buyer and the seller sign the document, making it legally binding. This means that the contract can only be terminated if both parties agree to it or if legal requirements or contingencies are not met. So what are the legal requirements in Hawaii? In Hawaii, the seller is legally required to fill out an official disclosure form that details any material defects on the property, as well as utility costs, zoning, association membership, and more. Under state law, the disclosure must be provided to the buyer within 10 days of accepting the agreement. In addition, under federal law, the seller must disclose the property's history of lead-based paint exposure if it was built before 1978. Lastly, what should you include in your residential purchase agreement to ensure that everything goes smoothly? Include a mortgage pre-approval letter. A mortgage pre-approval letter is a document from the bank estimating how much it is willing to lend to the buyer based on their credit history, income, debts, and assets. This helps the seller determine whether the buyer is financially credible. Offer an earnest money deposit. An earnest money deposit is a percentage of the offer and provided to the seller as a show of good faith. It is written into the residential purchase agreement and typically delivered when the agreement is signed. Use an addendum to modify or add to the agreement. An addendum is often included with a residential purchase agreement to add to or amend any terms and conditions. It can also detail a contingency which allows either party to opt out of the contract if certain terms are not met. If you are in need of an official Hawaii residential purchase agreement, you can get one started today by clicking the link right here. Also hit that subscribe button for more videos to help you simplify the legal process for everything ranging from buying or selling a house to making a will.